Ever wondered what an attack vector or an attack surface is in the realm of cybersecurity? Well, let's demystify these terms. An attack vector is essentially the path or method that a cyber attacker uses to breach the security of a system. It's like a secret passage they exploit to sneak into a castle, undetected. On the other hand, an attack surface refers to the sum total of all the vulnerabilities in a system that an attacker can potentially exploit. Imagine a castle again. The attack surface would be all the windows, doors, and secret passages that could potentially allow an intruder inside. The difference between the two is crucial. While an attack vector is a specific path exploited by an attacker, the attack surface is the overall vulnerability of a system. Understanding these terms is key to strengthening cybersecurity measures and building a robust defense against cyber threats. Now that you know what these terms mean, let's delve deeper into the most common attack vectors. There are numerous ways cyber attackers can breach a system. Here are some of the most common attack vectors. Let's start with phishing, a method where attackers impersonate legitimate organizations to trick people into providing sensitive information. This is often done through deceptive emails or websites. Email attachments, too, can be dangerous. Attackers often hide malware within these attachments, which then infect systems once opened. Compromised credentials, such as stolen usernames and passwords, enable attackers to gain unauthorized access to systems. Similarly, account takeover involves hackers gaining control of user accounts to carry out malicious activities. Then we have malware, a broad category of malicious software that includes viruses, worms, and ransomware. These are designed to damage, disrupt, or gain unauthorized access to computer systems. Insider threats come from within the organization. Disgruntled employees, for instance, might intentionally damage the system or leak information. Unpatched applications or servers present another attack vector. Attackers exploit known vulnerabilities in these systems to gain access or disrupt services. Distributed denial of service or DDoS attacks overload servers with traffic, causing them to crash. Ransomware is a type of malware that encrypts a victim's files. The attacker then demands a ransom from the victim to restore access to the data upon payment. Misconfiguration of security settings can leave systems exposed and easy to exploit. SQL injections manipulate a site's database, allowing attackers to view, edit, or delete its content. Trojans are malicious programs that disguise themselves as legitimate software. They can provide a backdoor for attackers to access and control a system. Cross-site scripting, or XSS, involves injecting malicious scripts into websites, which can then be used to steal information or deliver malware. Session hijacking intercepts a user's session to gain unauthorized access to their account or data. Browser-based attacks exploit vulnerabilities in a user's browser to execute malicious scripts. Man-in-the-middle attacks involve an attacker intercepting communication between two parties to steal or manipulate data. Application compromise involves exploiting vulnerabilities in applications to carry out an attack. Lastly, open ports can provide an entry point for attackers if not properly secured. As you can see, there are many ways a system can be compromised, but there are also ways to secure these attack vectors. Good security practices can greatly reduce the risk of a successful cyber attack. Let's dive into how we can secure our attack vectors. Creating secure Internet of Things credentials is a great start. This minimizes the risk of unauthorized access to your IoT devices, a common target for cybercriminals. Then there's encryption, a powerful tool for protecting your data. Whether it's at rest or in transit, encrypted data is a tough nut to crack for attackers. Next, we have browser isolation. It's like putting your web browsing activities in a sandbox, keeping potential threats away from your main system. But what about the human factor? Educating employees about cybersecurity best practices is crucial. The more they know, the less likely they are to fall victim to phishing or other forms of social engineering. Identifying and shutting down data leaks is another important step. Regularly monitor your systems for unusual activity and plug those leaks. Keeping your antivirus software updated is a no-brainer. It's your first line of defense against many types of malware. Similarly, regularly updating third-party software can patch vulnerabilities that attackers might exploit. Speaking of patching vulnerabilities, it's vital to keep all your systems and applications up to date. Finally, implementing Secure Access Service Edge, or SaaS, can provide a more secure and streamlined network. It combines networking and security services into a single cloud-based service, offering enhanced security for users wherever they are. While it's nearly impossible to eliminate all risks, good security practices can make a system significantly harder to compromise. Let's recap what was covered in this video. We explored the concepts of attack vectors and attack surfaces, defining them as the paths or vulnerabilities that attackers exploit. We also discussed common attack vectors, from phishing and malware to unpatched servers and man-in-the-middle attacks. Finally, we touched on securing these vectors through good security practices, encryption, employee education, and more. Remember, in cybersecurity, knowledge and preparation are your best defenses. Stay informed, stay safe.